Should I send a message to Mistress Seshadri?
Any objections?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I will send her something.
Okay.
Lord Eshteross has fallen. We arrived in town to find his house in shambles. As of now, his body is still there. We have documents for you.
It doesn't take too long for a response to come through. Her voice creeps into your mind in response. This is very dire news. But I appreciate you and your forthrightness. Let us meet. Sorry, I did not. She was wasting.
Her pill.
Yeah. Let us meet at a place of your choosing. If not, at his estate.
We're at the Spire by Fire, room 69. Be discreet.
Come in the back door.
If you have a better location, let us know.
Terrible.
Very well. Give me some time. I'll find my way there shortly.
I'll send a quick message to Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. It's Bell's Hells. Am I saying this?
Something terrible has happened.
Something terrible has happened to Eshteross. Do not return to the house.
We have a letter for her.
No, don't tell
No,
her.
never. No, I'm not just gonna give her the fucking letter.
She might be in danger if she goes.
You in danger, girl. Just stay safe. And you can reply to this message.
It's not like broccoli. You don't have to eat all of it.
Oh, I understand. Thank you for letting me know. Oh no. Stay safe. I hope he's all right.
Laudna. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks to you all. I don't know how I can ever repay my debt and express my gratitude to all of you for what you've done. There's no debt. None. Just never wished to be a burden.
It could have been any of us. It was some of us.
We were all, I think, really in the mood for more of you, and since we've accomplished that, I feel like that was kind of the intended goal, and it worked out pretty well. So, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Would have been worse to do all that work and you decide to stay away.
That would have fucking sucked.
They called you Matilda?
That's right.
I was a little, yeah, but would have walked into that one a little more gently, but here we are.
I was Matilda. Matilda Bradbury.
Matilda Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're Laudna.
just Laudna, or did you ever collect a few more names?
Just Laudna. I kind of forgot who I was, being alone for so long. Running from town to town, just being called many horrible things.
What would you like us to call you?
Laudna's fine.
I like Laudna a lot.
I tried to make the tiniest sparks of an eldritch blast.
An eldritch puff.
An eldritch poof.
As you concentrate and hold your fingers in front of you and just kind of zone out a moment, just sensing that familiar feeling of power kind of coursing through your arms, you watch as that faint spark of energy begins to gather between your palms once more, just kind of.
What do I feel?
You feel what you're used to feeling. The presence of power, the presence of woven arcana, your will made manifest through the various threads of the elements and the tethers of the world as you know and feel them in your blood and bones.
Ashton.
Yeah?
Catch.
Okay. Roll 2d20s.
I love that you didn't need to attack him with it, but you did anyway.
Yep.
Didn't.
He asked
I'm
for
into
it.
You're the same as you were, but oh.
Who is it?
Anything?
Anybody mind opening the door a little bit? We're here on behalf of Mistress Seshadri.
Is it the detectives?
I'm.
Yeah,
Does it sound like the Green Seekers or
It
something?
sounds like Ollie,
Yeah.
one of the Green Seekers.
I open the door just enough for them to peek in, but I'm using my boot to still hold it closed.
Okay. The door opens and you see looming, like at the top of it, the outer half-orc form of Gus in the coat, and then Ollie lower below, kind of looking through.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, been a little bit. Don't mean to alarm you at all. Just going through the motions that is required and been put before us, as we've been in the middle of the night now assigned the investigation of the murder of Lord Eric's Eshteross. We have an escort of armed soldiers on the outside of the Spire by Fire. We don't want to make a scene, so we just came in ourselves. But just no funny business, so this will turn into a scene. We just need to bring you for some questioning at the scene of the crime. Seshadri will meet you there, as per the conversation I guess you had. But understand, you are very much the number one possible culprits, ain't that right?
No, it's true. Look, we're just trying to make this work out best we can for you. You seem like nice fellas. I don't see much of a reason as to why this went down the way it, might have if you were the murderers. So we're just trying our best to clear your names, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't mind taking a walk with us?
What did you say?
Looking it over, it is a letter to Seshadri that speaks on a couple of his last jobs as a mercenary. He's recalling the work that he's done for her, the goodwill that they've had, and his...
I'll stop there. Goodwill?
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a good letter?
It looks to begin in a letter reminiscing.
Sincerely,
Yeah, go to the back page. Yeah, what's the very bottom?
with honor, with love.
The very bottom...
Shit and die, Lord Eshteross?
No. The very bottom ends up, it actually states bits of information about what you guys are doing, of what you've discovered. It goes down and talks about elements of the Grim Verity. It talks a little bit about the dangers of the coming solstice, and essentially says to not get in your way.
Cool. I'll put it back in the letter.
I cast Mending to mend the seal back together.
Finally, that spell can do something.
Yeah? Yeah?
Mail fraud.
Yes.
2 campaigns in a row. A short time later, you see a cloaked figure step out. As she pulls the cloak back, you see the familiar face of Mistress Seshadri. Kind of glances out towards the rest of you. Thank you so much for meeting, and my apologies for these necessary circumstances. I want to get this taken care of as soon as possible, and either send you on your way or send you on your way. But as much as it is useful to engage and converse with you with what truth you may know or truth you wish to put forward, there are better means to get to the root of this. At which moment you kind of see her step aside. And inside the chamber, 2 guard individuals have brought the body of Eshteross down into the foyer, and they've set it onto the ground. A third figure, who's standing within them, kind of leans forward and begins to inspect the body. And you can see the figure now leaning down, himself wearing a dark black, like ruffled, thick hooded cloak over the shoulders. You see this pale, almost pearlescent skin. It is so like powder white. The hair is almost like a silver gray that kind of falls back and then kind of tumbles and gathers in the back of the hood. No eyebrows, just smooth brow and the features would be almost elven, but you see no sign of elven ears or points. As she leans forward, you can see she's reaching into a small pouch and is like pulling out black ash across her fingers and is like drawing lines across the exposed skin of Eshteross's face and shoulders across. She's pulled back the cloak or his jacket a bit and looks to be muttering something beneath her breath as she stops and glances over and just kind of turns to the rest of your group. Oh, are these them? Are these the ones that might have done it?
No. We did not.
But it does.
I've heard that before, but we'll find out, won't we? As she leans down and begins muttering, Seshadri kind of leans over in your direction. This is the grave mystic Weva Vudol. She is a very useful talent when it comes to dealing with the unexpected demise of important individuals. You watch she puts her hand out in front and kind of mutters for a moment. Her eyes, her pupils, these like thin, dark pupils across the bright white of her eyes that bleeds into the white of her face. Almost looks like 2 dark dots, just kind of on a blank mask. And both of them just roll back, and then you just see the white of the eyes, and now it's just this like blank, almost featureless face.
I lean over to Laudna. You should remember this one.
Looks pretty scary, right? Yeah.
Her hand out in front, the mouth turns into a smile, showing just the faint bit of shift of musculature in the face. As she turns her hand over and then tenses her fingers and lifts. As she does, the chest of Eshteross lifts up a bit, and the head lifts up with it as well. When did you die? You hear the crackling sound of air pushing against dried vocal cords.
Not but a day before.
How did you die? And there's this like weird, sickly, sweet joy as she asks these macabre questions.
I was killed by the Legion.
These strangers. And she takes her hand like this, and then as she twists her arm, the body like twists to turn and face this kind of awful, kind of haphazard puppet-like movement in your direction as you see now the corpse of Eshteross facing towards you. Were they responsible and involved in your demise?
No.
Twists him back. Do you have any final requests? The chest takes one big inhale of foreign air into its no longer warm cavity.
To be interred next to Mistress Seshadri in the Lucent Memorial Mausoleum.
With the final gasp of air escaping, the body goes limp back to the ground.
Wait, do we know the Legends of the Peaks thing?
Otohan.
That's a
Yeah, the
nickname we've
Legends
never
of the
heard
Peaks.
for Otohan.
Well, what are
What
the
does that mean?
peaks? Yeah.
Peaks of Drusar?
Is it having to do with the war? It had to have been.
That it would be. Are you asking this question out loud?
Yeah.
Apex.
Indeed, during the Apex War, which is where Otohan established herself. She was known as the Legend of the Peaks because of her involvement with the Highlands, with the apex city known as Ruidus. It's the home of the Stratos throne. The mountain range that it resides is known as the Coven Peaks, and so she was known as the Legend of the Peaks, based on the many deeds and many great, in some perspectives, atrocities it committed during the war.
She committed these, or she righted those wrongs?
It depends on what your perspective was. For the people of the Stratos throne, she was a hero. For those opposing her, she was a boogeyman, a nightmare.
She's a nightmare.
Does the Stratus throne exist anymore?
It does.
Oh,
It does.
Who sits on it? Where is? I mean, that's where it is.
The council sits on the, and you would know this, Imogen. The Stratos throne is essentially the rulership over the Talent Highlands, your hometown of Jovan.
So she could have made her way through my town at some point.
Probably. You know that Jovan, while it is largely a farm town in the Highlands, is one of the towns that most folks pass through on the way out
That's
towards
why
the rest
Mr.
of Mark.
Barrymore is there.
Yeah. And at which point she looks over and glances at Laudna and goes, "Hi."
Two Spider-Men.
Hello?
You're cold.
Is she cold? I was gonna ask.
She is not cold. She is warm.
Yes.
Interesting. I like you.
Okay.
What's your name?
This is how everybody talks to and looks at me.
Hunter's Bank, right? So it's the pay for your undead.
It's a little
It's a
disconcerting.
little.
Just, it's okay to be honest and just say, I don't like the way you're looking at me.
I'm Laudna, and the way you're looking at me is a little alarming.
I get that a lot. That's all right.
I normally do too. It's honestly, it's rare to put me, a little off.
I take that as a compliment.
Same.
Wow.
I'm just feeling a little strange at the moment.
Yes, you look like you've had a brush with something recently. A bit darker on the edges. A bit withered. I know this. Ooh, welcome back.
Oh,
And she starts walking away.
As she walks away, do you,
You need a bath.
in her head, did you see anything else?
She keeps walking and stops. She's not even looking at you. She's just kind of like going off into the night, and she stops, and you hear a response. I don't know what you mean.
Something else. Around my friend.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Do her body posture back towards you with the conversation you're not hearing?
Really good insight.
Oh wait, did you say it psychically?
Yeah, I'm saying it.
she's
But
like,
you know what? You can insight her
You're still
body
reading it.
posture.
What'd you get?
She's trying to waft out a fart.
You're
as you
inciting
leave.
that ass as it walks away.
She's been
21
just holding it in the last
inside
10
that
minutes.
21.
Circles all the way around the body. Yeah.
You hate to see her leave.
Oh, but you like walking around.
No. It's hard to tell. She's faced away from you with the cloak on, so. No response. As she kind of stops for a second, and you see the head tilt a little bit, like she's considering the question in your head, and almost with a playful smile to the voice that returns to you. I didn't look that far.
I just want to kneel next to Eshteross and put my hand on his chest and just say thank you for trusting in us and for giving as generously as you did. I know we're Bell's Hells and Bertrand did bring us together, but I feel like you solidified that, and like Orym said, we're gonna make this right. I'm glad you get to be with your love now.
I'll identify the blood.
The blood itself is what is there is coagulated, but like to a thick degree. Like it's not dry. It's just kind of lumpy and mealy.
Gross.
For what elements you can see close up. We'll say for the purposes of the use of this spell, you do identify the object, but you can make a nature or medicine check, your choice, to see if you can identify any of these. And I'll say as part of the identify spell being used, you can have advantage on the roll.
Okay. Sure. Natural 20.
Natural 20 for a total of
26.
26 medicine. You know, and I've researched and read just in your off time, and it's odd, almost like a bank of memory that you haven't accessed before. And you're going through it all, and you feel with certainty you have never seen something like this.
Can't even glean what spectrum of magic it might fall under. Or whether it's magic.
There is no magic to it. But it's not anything you've encountered of the natural world either in your memory banks, whatever you want to call it. It's very odd. You feel pretty confident in your inability to figure out what this is.
Huh. That's weird.
Could be from
But you're pre-time.
Maybe.
What did you just say?
I said lunar.
Yeah.
Lunar.
And you're not as
Maybe it's
free-time as Ruidus is.
Rudisian.
Gotta make a call.
Oh.
God. Hot moon.
I am curious.
69, 69.
Gotta make a call right now. Find out what's going on.
But you do.
Hello.
It's even a red phone.
But what you do recognize as you sit down at your table for a moment is the heavy footfalls of the chef handing platters out onto the table to be distributed amongst the tables, who sets it down, and you see the kind of sweaty forehead of Pretty as he kind of leans out and looks across and sees the table and goes,
Oh! Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Pretty.
morning.
Always
Pretty.
Pleasure is mine. How goes things?
It's just great. It's just been a good time
I'm
lately.
so happy to hear that.
We've had a lot going on. Just so busy.
Well, you gotta keep your appetites up.
and he kind of scoots the plates forward across the table.
Have you found love in your life?
No, I am exploring my options.
Oh, you're currently seeing somebody or a few folks?
I'm currently dabbling in some social interaction.
You're being honest with them that you're not looking for something serious, though, right?
First conversation we had.
Okay, that's nice.
So yeah,
Well, that's respectable.
I gotta get back to the kitchen. But don't be strangers, please.
They're all still single. If you ever change your mind.
Well,
Thank you, FCG.
So
It's
we
fine.
can't-
It's
not
fine.
A
It's
long
fine.
distance
Late,
relationships
it's too
are so
late.
hard.
But you're all wonderful in your own way.
Thank you
don't
very
have
much.
to.
And the friendship means a lot.
No, it's fine.
He's looking over at you, FCG, like,
I know. I'm trying, but I just
Imogen actively goes, ah.
can't find anyone for
So
them.
awkward.
I know you're just trying to be a good friend, but just let things naturally occur.
Right. It's just I feel like
And
if
for
they don't
some,
take the first step,
You know,
it's
you
not-
could learn so much from him.
and for some people, maybe they're just fine being themselves. They don't need someone to complete them.
That's very wise.
Yeah.
It's very wise.
all right. So I take it you go approach the familiar side of the Silver Sun. It looks like some of the minor impacts and, scars of recent conflict and weather are mostly still there, other than the broken mast elements that hold the sails have been repaired, and it looks like one of the sails is being affixed to it at the moment. So it's not completely repaired, it's in process, but it's still functional. It looks like it's airworthy. There you are immediately greeted with the familiar face of First Mate Khalil Bennett, who turns around, his glasses kind of wide over his unwavering smile, kind of glancing towards the rest of you.
Oh, but it has been quite only a few days and you've already returned. I've been notified that apparently there is a changing of ownership. So that's interesting and new.
Yeah, we're changing the world one skyship at a time. Starting with this one.
Very well.
You're going to be seeing a little bit more of us, so lucky you.
Lucky all of us. I'll retrieve the captain.
Darts off and heads below deck. The gray-blue skin now peers out into the open sunlight as you see the familiar bald-horned head of Xandus approaching from below deck. Goes, "Oh, well, hello. Welcome back to the ship that you apparently own, I guess, maybe. That's kind of crazy. What? You're alive? Hi.
Oh, that's right.
Whoa.
You were a cargo last time.
I was cargo.
Well, no.
Precious cargo.
Yeah.
Cargo.
Did you transport me? I actually haven't heard.
Ashton carried it.
I wrapped you in a thing.
Like a gift.
Like a baby.
Or
Like a dead baby.
Yeah, we took every consideration and they were very gracious in your transport.
Is the ship ready to sail off to another destination?
We can make it work. Yeah, not just we can make it work.
What would make that
We got
work?
you back, right?
Well, yeah. What?
We got you back from Bassaris,
yeah,
right?
but-
It's
but
not
we-
all that strange, really, from what I understand.
Would an extra...
As the night comes around, and you're resting throughout the deck of the ship. Those of you who are on the surface notice a strange reddish glow that seems to emanate from the sky. Glancing in that space, you see the normally dark, ruddy shape of Ruidus is in mid-flare. Imogen. While you're resting in the middle of your sleep, a dream of your own making, if you want to describe what dream you're in the midst of right now, a good dream, a medium dream, whatever it may be, what are you dreaming of?
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm dreaming of Laudna and I in a hut outside of one of the towns that we stayed outside of for a couple of weeks. And I guess it's because of the cookies that Laudna just baked, but I'm dreaming that we're baking.
Okay.
Did the flare happen while we were awake?
The heat gets really intense and you kind of pull back as the heat on your face is extreme. And as you kind of pull back, the whole room, all the candlelight went from orange to a deep, deep red.
I'll look for Laudna.
And you look around, and Laudna's not in the room, but the door's open. And outside of the hut, you just see a red cloud.
You have control. I'm gonna step outside the hut.
Okay. You step outside the hut, and there the storm is around you. You can hear the impact of it, the hut itself creaking and elements of it being pulled away from the sheer intensity of the wind. You can just barely see the shadow of a shape walking in the storm away from the hut and away from you.
I chase after the figure.
You chase after the figure, and you run, and you see the kind of darkened, clothed shape of what looks like Laudna, the dark hair kind of moving into the wind, just still walking away from you.
No. Laudna?
No response, just keeps walking.
Laudna?
You reach out and touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You touch it, and it spins around, and what was the black outfit of Laudna turns around, instead is a darkened, ruffled cloak. And you see what you thought was Laudna's hair blowing was tattered shreds of some sort of almost looks like a funeral shroud or some sort of a deep midnight cloak. And as it spins around, you see this scraggly hair in a lavender-like color. And that memory that unlocked, you immediately recognize this to be the face of your mother. As she looks back to you and goes, "You need to run." Chetney, I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
What?
Oh, it's the moon!
I'm your mom.
Oh.
Do I get advantage because it's against magic? No.
Wild monk.
Oh my god, what if Mom is Oh no.
6.
Oh no!
6.
So, you've concentrated on this at moments in the past, and you've thought about it. You know, the curse that you hold, for those who call it a curse, it is tethered to the history of Katha, and the transformations have always been pulled by that massive white silver glow in the sky. Ruidus didn't seem to have much of an impact. But as you've been focusing and been present and more conscious of these flares, there's always just like a little itch in your belly. But this time the itch gets stronger and stronger until you can't help but try and scratch for it. And your fingers go for it, and you scratch for the itch, and you scratch, and you scratch, and you pull, and you tear, and you tear. And those of you who are on the surface, which right now is Fearne and Orym, you especially with your perception see Chetney begin to double over and kind of clutch his stomach.
Chet, I'm gonna get about 25 feet away. Chet, you talk to me? Okay.
You have to pull. You have to be free. You have to scratch this itch. You have to scratch. There's no way. It has to be set free. It has to be free. It has to be free. The two of you watch as, from behind, he just tears the flesh away from his torso. And as you watch the skin and hair of the gnomish form flop away like a discarded costume, the woven body of Chetney emerges in an angry, aggressive howl before he spins around, the eyes now emanating a dull red glow.
I am going to take my staff and slam it on the ground, touch the top of it, and point it at Chet, and I'm going to cast Daylight.
Yes!
Okay.
Yes, right! I was thinking that.
I'm gonna cast it, and I'm gonna put my hand out, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, big guy, the moon's getting real low."
You do have the daylight still up, which means make another standard wisdom saving throw. Just one roll.
15, 16.
16. With that, you manage to shake free this weird sensation. You were just overtaken with the need to scratch yourself, and the itch now fitters away.
Oh.
Woo! Wait, why? Why?
Well, he pauses.
There's one problem.
What?
I'm under a certain number of hit points.
Oh no.
So make another wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw 4. I'm pretty sure that doesn't beat the DC.
It does not.
Yeah.
So who are you going after?
I'm between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will go after the guy that ran like a jackrabbit across the ship.
Go ahead and make another wisdom save. Well, actually, this isn't against the influence, so.
No.
I'll allow it. What did you get?
8.
8? So yeah. So you do manage to.
Me to pizza.
Oh.
Yep. So you managed to meet the pizza. So you do shake it free. You finally like the beast aggression that took over and carried through from whatever this odd influence was.
I look down. I'm all covered in fucking gashes. So is Orym. Fearne looks all frazzled. But lovely. Oh no.
As you glance up, the flare diminishes, and there's just the dull, ruddy moon in the sky.
Oops. I did it again.
That's how she sounded before.
And I'll drop hyper transformation.
As you see into the face of your mother saying this, she steps back, and the wind just whips her away, but almost like she was just strips of cloth. Like,
What do you want?
no response.
Otohan? Are you here?
Nobody seems to be present. Just the sound of wind.
I'm gonna reach out my hand and I'm gonna lightning strike the hut next to me and just destroy it if I can.
As you reach out your arm, all the weird designs on your body, the extended kind of tendrils of energy that seem to slowly move across your body, completely fill your arm, and the bolt strikes outward as it arcs across the outside of the hut. You watch it begin to burn and darken, and as it immediately burns up, the wind carries it away like the cloak but a moment before.
I'm gonna kick up and fly up into the air.
Okay. You head up and watch as the dust around you begins to subside slightly, further and further, that glaring moon above you. And you can see the darkness of the stars beginning to come closer and closer. A few moments later, the bright, shining light of the flare dulls, and in that moment, your ascension slows, and then stops, and you begin to fall. Faster and faster. The dust storm begins to pick up again. Faster and faster you plummet, your hair pulling around your face. You begin to spin uncontrollably as the wind begins to kick you around. You fall and fall and fall. You spin and see the ground come towards you. You wake up.
I'm gonna cast Sending on my mom.
Okay.
Are you there?
Is that all you say?
Yeah.
Imogen? And that's where it ends tonight's episode.